Welcome to the CEN show. We have a special edition show today, and I'm a super roots reggae fan, so this is a real big deal for me. And I would like to introduce the panel. I'm your host, Rasaki Maskani, and on the panel we have Brother Doctor, one of our regulars. We have one of our team members, Noble Carlos, is here, and Brother Machinda just popped in. And by the way, Brother Doctor and Brother Machinda, they are team members. So let me say a few words, and I'm gonna make a statement, and this is my statement. Roots reggae music is a positive, life-changing agent. I'm gonna say that again. Roots reggae music is a positive, life-changing agent. Then also, I'm gonna say roots reggae music is a world power. I'm gonna say that, and anybody that hears this, hopefully, you can kind of vibe off of that because this is truly my feeling, and I think it's a fact, but it's definitely my feeling. So I want to introduce this roots reggae artist that I came across maybe hmm, about maybe 4 or 5 months ago, and when I say that this brother is a triple, I call it a triple roots reggae effect and impact. So let me explain that. Musically, as far as the instruments, top of the line when it comes to roots reggae. Voice, top of the line. And mostly important, well, all three of them are important, but mostly the lyrical content is in line with what we got going here on the Community Education Network. And we base everything off of eat one, teach one. And also we want to improve individually, and also we want to improve our environment. And when I heard this brother, he's in line with that. He's definitely in line with that. So I've been listening to reggae just seriously for going on 41 years. And the impact that it had on me, like I said earlier, is life changing. And I say it's for the good. So I was talking to a buddy of mine, he's in Oklahoma, and we used to go to a lot of midnight concerts together. And it's rare that you could go to a concert and the music is so impactful. If anybody know about Midnight, one of the top reggae bands, I would say ever. Then also giving shout out to Brother Von Benjamin. He passed away. He was just a lyrical genius and well read, highly intelligent. Then of course we got Bob Marley. The you know Bob Marley is made reggae popular all over the world. He's all over the world, and it's I didn't get a chance to see Bob Marley, but I got a chance to see Midnight just numerous times. It was in L.A. numerous times. I was able to see them, and I'll tell you what, I'm almost 60 now, and when when I look to go see reggae, it has to be top quality now. And it ain't much out there if you ask me, or at least it ain't much coming to Los Angeles. So I hope this brother makes it out here, and whenever he comes, I just hope he make it out here. So if he doesn't anytime soon in the next few years, I'm gonna have to go take a vacation and go see him. That's how good his music is. So I don't want to keep talking too much, but I want to introduce to everybody Brother Clatta Bumboo, one of my favorite artists already. And I just just came across the brother. So, brother Clatta, can you tell us something about yourself and kind of introduce us to
Yes,
you?
I. Yes, I. Much respect and
And
gratitude.
welcome and thank
You
you for
know.
coming, brother.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your persistence. Um, it's been a long time we've been talking, 4 or 5 months, and I'm really happy to be here. It's good to be in a space where it's wide open and we can have conversation. This is what we need. This is what is necessary. And I'm very happy to be here. Thank you. Thank you very much. So my government name is Sheldon Townsend. I was born in the capital town of Savannah Lamar, which is the capital of the parish of Westmoreland. People who are not familiar with the structure of Jamaica, parishes are equivalent to states. Town capitals, yeah, they're one and the same. So you have your state capital. Savannah Lamar Hospital is the only public hospital in the parish. I grew up in Moreland Hill, which is a farm village in the high mountains and is the watershed for Negril, Jamaica, where everybody probably know what Negril is. Negril is the window to the world for Jamaicans, and it's the party capital of Western Jamaica for spring breakers. It's just leisure, sleepy fishing village where first world people come to let loose. So I moved up to the United States here in 2008, got a green card in 2010, became a citizen in 2020. I consider myself a recording artist, singer, songwriter, producer, a musician overall. And I also run a business in healthcare. I am a integrative massage therapist by trade. I think we can save a lot more for questioning, but I think that should be solid enough as an introduction.
Okay, that's good. Good. All right, I just have a few questions before I get to the panel, and then also I wanted to get to some of your music and talk about
Yes, I.
that. And then also I have a few questions. Then I'm gonna go to the panel so they can participate. So my first question is, when did you start doing music? When did you begin your journey in music?
So my journey started, I would say when I was a teen. When I was a teen, I made, so by teen, I mean 12, between age 12 and 15, I was seriously involved in sound system culture. Not in the major leagues, but what you would call your hometown league. I curated music for a small sound system. And by curating music, I mean I would leave the village and go into the township and buy records. So those are like 7-inch records. And then I was the lead selector on the sound system. I grew up in the church. My family built and owned their own church, and that is still active today. I stepped out of the church at like age 13 and, put myself in boarding school, and that was like 13. So between 13 and 16, I was very, very into playing a disc jockey type style, playing local dancehall music. When I graduated from high school, 1995, I entered the hotel industry as an entertainment coordinator, and responsibilities to keep the foreigners entertained. So I moved up the ranks. By the time I became 19, I was managing entertainment. I started recording and releasing music in 2018.
Okay. All right. Well, I tell you, from what I could see, oh man, however you started, it was I thank the Most High that you did start. So okay, so my next question is
Yeah.
now where now your style is in my opinion is straight from the root. Like any roots reggae that you hear that's real quality, it's it's rooted in like Bob's music and other artists. I can't like let me see, maybe some rhythm sections. You have Sly and Robbie, you have the Roots Radix, that pure reggae sound, you know.
Yeah.
So so what
Mine,
what what were your influences? Because I where did you get your
well,
yeah.
champion, my influence is everything that comes off of Jamaican radio. And I could go as far as Percy Sledge, Marty Robbins, Skeeter Davis, James Brown, Richard Pryor.
Oh,
We had access. We had access to all those stuff in Jamaica on 12-inch, and we used to listen to a lot of that music. As it relates to my roots sound, that was a choice to study Burning Spear.
mm.
I made the choice to study Bob Marley and the Marley Songbook. And by the Marley Songbook, I mean Stephen Marley, Ziggy Marley, all the Marleys, Kimani, Damian Marley. In 2013, when the reggae revival started with Chronix, Janine, Protege, Kabaka Pyramid, Dre Island. There are many other names to add to the reggae revival. I started to look on how that new generation of artists, how they were packaging sound and the message they were bringing forward. And I've lived long enough to see that message becomes something totally different from what it presented itself to be. We can expound on that a little bit later, but the influence comes from whatever is in the space. And that selective move to choose what era I study and who I study. And I'm happy that you mentioned musicians, because I think that is, in my opinion, and I can stand by this opinion as it may be fact, that it is the musician that makes the music. Yeah, it's the musician, and I mean understanding the genre, having purpose, and being committed to a purpose. Then you will literally have to choose what is your platform on which you're going to put your message. And I've looked to solid musicians, and I'm a champion for musicology. Reggae deserves a study. Reggae deserves a study. I wish the Jamaican government will study reggae music and put it in the school system as a part of the curriculum, because the musicians are who I lean to. So my studies, anything that came out of the 1970s, between 71 and 79, is what is in my headset.
Mm.
The
Yeah.
Peter Tosh sound that fought against or stood up or resisted apartheid. That's what's in my headset. The remixes of Malcolm X's vocals message over dubs. That's what's in my headset.
Mm.
Marcus Garvey works over dubs, in my headset. Von Benjamin, in my headset. PLO Lumumba, headset. That's the type of stuff that I feed on. I feed on content that serves my purpose.
Yes. Yes. And like I said earlier, you're right in line with what we do. You're right in line with it. It's a correlation. It's relative. And it's just
I'm glad we can relate. I'm glad
yeah,
we can
yeah,
relate. That's a big part. That's a big part of my purpose, is to find relation.
yeah,
Yeah, man.
yeah. Yeah, so I wanted one more thing before I go to the panel. Um, the Roots Government, that's your band?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
man.
so please don't separate. If you can keep that band for the rest of your career, man, that
If
sound
I
is
if I may offer a perspective, if I
yes.
may offer a perspective. Roots government, the idea of roots government came about because there needed to be a deliberate shift in the direction reggae music is going. And my contribution was to have the roots government. So any musician, it's an ensemble. Roots government is an umbrella for an ensemble to come in and participate.
Okay.
And roots government, the sound will be that. The epitome of reggae is what we're trying to. We're trying to get to midnight. We're trying to get to Wailers, but harnessing our own sound image.
Well,
Roots government ain't going nowhere, man.
okay, well, excellent. Because check this out, you guys are there. I'm gonna say it.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, man.
Okay. Good. Good.
We've created a safe space for musicians to come and be themselves. So yeah,
Okay.
yeah, man.
Excellent.
Ain't going
Excellent.
nowhere.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, brother doctor. Come on, brother doctor.
Hey, first of all, say yeah, thanks. Appreciate you coming on.
Yes, man.
And you just mentioned about the band. That was my same question. Like Rotsky said earlier, man, in the bands. You know, my favorite band, Roots Radix band, Sly and Robbie and the Wailers. And I put you closer to the Wailers, man. Your sound's more like the Wailers, you know. And Rotsky mentioned some other about people he's seen. We didn't see Bob, but we did go see Bunny Wailer. And I think that was
Nice.
one of the most
Yeah.
inspirational things. We went and saw Bunny Wailer.
Yes, man.
And next after that, we've seen the Roots. I mean, we've seen, Still Pulse and Black Hue, but yeah, Bunny and in my opinion, Muda Baruka. Those two are my favorite.
Yes, yes,
But I
yes,
want to
yes.
talk about one of your songs, man.
Yes, brother. Talk to me.
I listened to one of your interviews, and we're going to talk about digital dystopia.
Oui.
And you interviewed about this song, and you
Yes.
stated that one of your inspiration for the song, you listen to the Australian Parliament, and someone there said something that you noticed that you start noticing that how you got your information,
Yes.
and I kind of did a little research, so we know that digital dystopia is the notion that advancement in digital technology will cause disruptions in various fields, political, economic, and mostly social. And one question I want to ask is, the first question is, when do you think digital dystopia started, and at which point should have stopped? That's the first question. When do you think it started, and when do you think, hey man, we should stop here? And I can give you some little, the Iron Age, the invention of semiconductors, transistors, social media rise, because you talk about TikTok and all the other little Instagrams in that interview, and or is it now with the development of AI? So when should have started, or there's some things you said in the song, man. I'm listening to the lyrics. I had to listen to it like 10 times this morning and yesterday. You go for it, no against it, and you with it. So let's start there, man. When did you think it started?
Watch this. We are living in the dark end of the information age. We suffer under the guise of freedom in a them surveillance state. Just a number on a spreadsheet, consuming factor in the marketplace. So vulnerable in the paper chase. Check this out. Digital dystopia is loaded. It's loaded. It makes me cry. Like I'm tearing up now talking about it, because check out the positives. Like all of us can connect positively because of end user products. That's what we are using. We are using the tools that are given to us by a deeper system. We are permitted to use this system. And given that our purpose is rooted in goodness, then we don't have anything to hide, so we don't have to worry. So we can use this camera, we can use these headsets and these speakers, and we can use their internet, and it's fine. But it's not ours. It doesn't belong to us. Yeah? I just want to make that point clear, that we are being permitted to use these devices. We are being permitted to use the highway, which is the internet. Now, where did digital dystopia start? The moment we have some people who recognize that they can leverage other people. That's where the digital dystopia started. Because despite we can come together and use the tools or the end user tools for positive movements, I personally don't think it was created for that. It was created for control. It was created for increased access to the population, for greater opportunities for commerce and consumption and earning. It's the greatest attack on the human mind, the age we're living in right now, because the technology has been developed to a point where the slave master no longer has to whip you to incriminate yourself. You do it yourself. Like, you wake up in the morning and you take up your cell phone. It's the first thing you take up. You know, under the guise of freedom, we think that we are free enough to walk around with an iPhone. I mean, like, how blind are we, man? You know, we are we pay to use these things to incriminate ourselves, to provide data to AI, so they can further control us remotely. Are you seeing the dystopia? Are you seeing how bad things are? And it's not to be doom and gloom, but it's to recognize that we are free-range humans running around on a tax farm that is highly surveilled. Highly surveilled. And this is not something that I am making up. This is not a lie. This is nothing derogatory. This is a free-thinking mind observing his day-to-day. Nothing else. No, we're not trying to convince anybody. We're just providing a perspective.
Yes.
And the observation is, I guess you're gonna be all right, bro.
Right. Now,
hey,
correct.
hey, hold up,
Right.
brother doctor. Let me
Yeah.
jump in on this. We have another show that I'm allowed to put on my YouTube channel. What he just said, level set. That is straight level set. Also, we talk about truth. That is the truth. Go ahead, brother doctor.
No, yeah, I was gonna agree, yeah, because one thing in that song that we talk about on the show all the time is we're always in this war. And you put it to the point, man, where the way I thought about it differently, we're fighting a war in our homes against all this smart stuff, because you talked about in an interview,
Yeah,
smart this, smart that, smart everything. And we're
Mm.
fighting this war in our own homes, because I think you even because you stated that I can remember what the problem. You said you were thinking about something, and all of a sudden it popped up on your
Yes,
phone or
man.
something.
Yes,
I
yeah,
forgot the item it was.
man. And I actually have an iPhone now, because that prompt, after I talked about it in the space, that prompt gave me enough information for me to agree to get rid of my Android and have my iPhone. I have been a lot more productive creatively since I got the iPhone. I have to admit to that. But think of the complicities, how complicit we are in our own caging, and how much a part of the herd we are.
Right.
You know?
Right. Like I said, and you also state, we're going on in the song, deep into that rabbit hole. But you said, though, we're gonna be okay if we comply. Okay, come on. So just go ahead and comply. What? So
that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm
explain
saying.
that to me. That's why, it's kind of like
I guess we're gonna be all right. Only if we comply.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not suggesting that we have the choice to comply or not. We don't have the choice to comply or not. I'm not making a suggestion. I'm not giving anybody or anyone this idea that, oh, you can rant and rave against the. Have you heard of cancel culture, man?
Yes, yes. I remember you talking about that. Correct. Yes, I have heard of it.
Yeah. So
and I'm glad you brought that up. I
yeah,
want your opinion on that too.
So once we can come to terms with what our actual freedoms are, we cannot get away from being compliant, my brother. The only freedom we have is to comply. I'm not suggesting that we have a choice or not. We follow rules, we stay in line, and we'll be all right. I mean, you think the oligarchy wants you to be smart or want you to be strong enough to overturn their mandate and their agendas? No, they will never allow it. So if we are to be real, about our present state and we can make a choice as it relates to trajectory, therefore destiny within a certain lifespan. Yeah, I know that I can live well until I'm 80 if I do the right things. And part of the right things is to recognize that you have no choice but to comply. I'm not making stuff up, my brother. I'm not selling snake oil either. This is what music is supposed to do. This is what art is supposed to do. Art is supposed to speak truth and say, yo, pay attention and make choices that does not get you in the running with the system. The system don't care if we're having this conversation until we incite a riot. If we incite a riot, then they will run at us. But right now, they don't care. We're just good people having a conversation about facts.
Okay.
We don't have any choice but to comply. I don't know if that makes sense to the item, but this is my truth, you know.
I see what you're saying. Right. You really have no choice.
I want to jump in on some of this, you guys. Brother Doctor, let me get in on some of this. So we talking about life compliance. In life compliance, complying with logic. Can we say that, Brother Clatta?
Yeah, you can say that.
Yeah.
You can say that.
Okay. Go ahead, Brother Doctor.
No, that was it. Other things, I just want to know. So,
Brother Doctor,
with all the advancement, go ahead.
Brother Doctor, let me just point out recent history. In the pandemic, in the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, I resided in what you would consider a safe zip code, 02906 in Providence, Rhode Island. And when the state government said shut down, there were helicopters flying over the city of Providence. I've been living in Providence for almost 18 years, and that was the first time I've heard a helicopter over the city of Providence. Yeah. This is not a case of doom and gloom. I'm saying the appliance in your house is watching you. You brought the appliance in your house. Your cell phone is watching you. You bought and paid for it. You actually pay a bill every month. This is a fact of life. When the system ready to shut down, the system can shut down. In the same breath, when they were sending helicopters to keep people inside, they gave a group of people permission to go protest. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, you have a group of people who were out there protesting with placards because they got permission to go out and protest. And they video it and the content is put out, and then you have a cross-section of people that consumes that content. I mean, that's what digital dystopia observe. That's what is observed as a digital dystopia. You know, when we are at home being told through digital means to stay put, there are people out there who are working and doing work, retooling to maintain a level of control over the gross, not the individual, over the gross. The individual takes care of himself by participating. That's the basis of digital dystopia, you know?
And see, when I'm listening to what you're saying, Brother Clatta, I'm thinking about Neely Fuller. Neely Fuller Jr. Are you familiar with him?
Please enlighten me.
Well, he's 94 years old. He has a weekly radio show. And he has a book out that's it's a counter-racist code. And it deals with countering racism. And basically he said that, you know, the aim should be just to live constructively and also follow logic. You know, follow logic.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. That makes sense to me. Follow logic. Because watch this. If the coming together of people, irrespective of race, color, class, or creed, it's the oppressor man's worst nightmare. The coming together of people, irrespective of race, color, class, or creed, is the oppressor man's worst nightmare. Things are not as bad as we may think it is. You know, if we look on the flip side of the digital dystopia, we don't have to use certain conveniences, like, because that's all they are, man. Yeah. There are conveniences and access points and tools for access. You know, we can step away from the dystopia phase, the digital dystopia phase. You know, we can collectively, we can.
True.
Yes,
let's hear it a little bit.
Yes,
Let me know if you guys could hear it. Just take a little taste of this cut.
I guess we're gonna be.
Can you hear it?
Yes, man, clearly.
I guess we're gonna be all right. Only if we comply. We are living in the dark end of them information age. Hustle under the guise of freedom in a them surveillance state. Just a number on a spreadsheet, consuming factors in a them marketplace. Oh, your problems with them paper chase. Look, the city street associate you out. So too the appliance way in your house. Them now go find me down at them barbering place. Man fully organic, have them dying fishing.
I had enough. I can't take it. Can't take it. That's some real reggae right there. Roots.
Yes, man.
Oh man.
Man has done respect, man.
Hey,
respect.
Brother Doctor, we'll come back to you. Let's go to Brother Mashinda. Brother Mashinda, talk about what you wrote in the chat, man. Come on, brother Mashinda.
Hey, well, I want to welcome the guests, man. Thank you, brother.
Manners and respect, sir.
I came in at 10:01. I tried to get in at right on time, but I was listening to Good Vibration, and then I had to turn it. I had to, yeah. So anyway, man, Rasa Key, he always, turned me on to. Over the years, he would send me artists and different things like that. He hadn't failed me yet. I have to give him that. He introduced me to some of your music, and
Much respect.
hey, and I'm telling you, it's in alignment not only with what we talk about on this show, but in the position that I'm in, we all in the struggle together, and through your music and your creativity and your truth and your sincerity, it really reverberates, man. It touches. It's inspirational, and for all the soldiers out there that are out there trying to make a difference and try to spread love in the world, that you always, so here you are. It's not an accident. You've popped up, and you're definitely part of my catalog. And
Much respect.
I,
Much respect.
I don't, and I don't have a huge catalog, so um, so I'm not, back to compliance. I think in the struggle, compliance, it's a given. I understand what Brother Doctor was saying, like, hey, what are you saying? You want us to comply, or and I, no, we are complying. We can't be self-destructive. We can't be reckless and abandoned. We have to understand that, again, this is a, uh, this is their a purposeful construct that we're living within. But I believe that we can live, through love and what we're trying to ascend to. We can live in another dimension outside of, live on another frequency to where we don't let that affect us to the best of our ability. So
Yes,
I just
brother.
want to appreciate again that, I've had the opportunity to meet you. And it's Rasa Key. As far as what I wrote, I didn't write that. I just was given a definition of dystopia. That's just a basic Webster's definition of dystopia, just to kind of, because I was tying it all together for myself. So, but again, I'm not going to talk anymore. I'm enjoying the music, and I'm going to continue to explore. And yeah, whenever you in the States over here playing, I got to check you out. And if not, like I say, me and Rasa Key, we got to fly over there and check you out.
Manners and respect, man.
I don't. Hey, brother Mashinda. Can you read that definition? Because I know the audience can't see that. Brother Mashinda? I guess I'll read
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hold on.
Go ahead.
So no,
check.
this was a dictionary definition: dystopia, an imagined state or society in which there is a great suffering or injustice, typically one that is totalitarian and or post-apocalyptic. So they got some strong words in there. But the bottom line is, I just wanted to put that out there. That was my understanding, but I just wanted to give a vivid, description of what about dystopia, because these are terms that, we need to research even more. Some of us are scholars and we understand certain things, but at the end of the day, so I just threw that out there, man.
Okay. Thanks a lot, brother Mashinda. Okay, I want to go to some of the music, and I have questions. And I'm gonna go to calling to the people. And okay, I'm gonna play it first, and then I want you to comment. I got a few bullet points on it. And
Yes, man.
Okay, so let's go to it. Let's hear a clip of that.
Send it on.
change.
No change, won't change.
If not, then our children shall never ever be free.
Never be free.
My people, colonial past is the reason why the system reigns.
Babylon system reigns.
Those earth rulers will never ever ever lift up the chains.
Oh man. Hey, I'm gonna tell you, anybody that listen to reggae, if they don't like this, they don't know what they're listening to. All right. Okay. First bullet point. Let's stop looking to the source of our problems to find change.
Yes. Yes.
Talk a little bit about that. And
Well,
the
well,
reason why that hit home with me, because we got Professor Amin Ra, one of our main teachers here on the platform, and he said, "Don't let your oppressors be your teacher."
yeah. Yeah, I agree. Don't let your oppressor feed you. Don't let your oppressor educate your children. Understand that education is a tool. I mean, and there are levels at which the graduate is accepted. Associate, an associate degree in the United States of America is an entry point. In Jamaica, it has great value. In other parts of the world, it has great value because it carries the seal of your community college, and your community college is run by your state. So you have governmental recognition. In the United States of America, it may be nothing. In the Caribbean, it's gold, literally. Education is a tool. If we are able to educate ourselves and act in a positive light, we do not need to accept the foods that the slave master is genetically modifying for profits, and they are focusing on yield per acre and not nutrition per acre. How can the United States of America have food deserts? That doesn't make any sense to me. We have to stop looking to earth rulers to feed us, clothe us, all of the necessities. That's how they control us. That's how the system works. We're not saying go off the grid. I'm saying make informed decisions based on what you know, based on what you observe the system doing as a means to maintain power. I mean, like, are we not realizing that there are people in control of how we live? Like, you know? So for those who realize it, even in academia, I mean, like, the professor has a responsibility to his pupils, to her pupils. The teacher has a responsibility to the pupil, but the system is not set up that way. There are endowments to respect. Therefore, the curriculum reflects the donor agenda. We know these things. So if we can focus on what is necessary to raise our own families and understand that the family is the basis of the community, have strong families, encourage families among each other, encourage the building of family, encourage the building of community, and build up. Stop looking to the slave master to feed you, especially if you are a descendant of slaves.
Mm,
It's a complicity.
yes. And I
Uh,
think, oh, go ahead, brother.
that's all I'm saying, man.
Okay. And
Read the books your father read, but also ask questions of those books and expand yourself. Read the books the slave master's children are reading. Read every book the slave master write. Don't wait for him to give you something or give you the book. Go source it. Don't wait for him to give you what you think you need or for him to give you what he thinks you need. That's a bigger problem.
yeah,
He keeps you in
yeah,
chains. Keeps you in chains, you know?
yeah. And
Yes,
then
I.
all we need, we already have. I think you kind of
Mhm.
said, you just kind of expounded on that.
Yeah,
And
man.
then you said, oh, parents, let's remember our children become what they learn.
Yes, sir. Yes,
And
sir. I think we all can agree on that.
yeah, and one thing about that is we have to convey to them because I teach, been doing it 28 years, and I always tell the students, I say, look, I said, what you practice, that's what you become. When you're practicing, when you're practicing things that you shouldn't do, you just
Practice become permanent.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Practice become permanent. Yeah.
So that's what I try to convey to them to make some changes because the route that they're on is destructive. And then that's another one says, oh yeah, says, oh people, let's remove the oppressor's thoughts from our homes. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So so listen, me champion. Listen, me champion. I will tell you this. I am not saying anything that has not been said before.
Yes.
I just want to make it clear that in my mind, in my center, these are not original thoughts.
It's I would say those thoughts are the thoughts that need to be repeated.
Repackaged.
Yeah, they need to, yeah, because the oppressor or the system wants you to have the thoughts of, let me give you an example of self-destruction. That's what they
To
that's what
practice
practice self yeah,
self-destruction. To
yeah. I
practice
mean,
self-destruction.
we were talking about yesterday, Brother Uweze. I wish he was here. I know he would have some excellent comments and questions. We were talking about this artist called, and I I always change the name up, but I call her Filthy Red, and I shouldn't be name calling, but her artist name is Sexy Red. But what she's putting out is what the oppressor loves. They want us to be self-degrading and want us to practice mindless sex and degrade ourselves, devalue. And so we were talking about that yesterday, and it's just we got to remove the oppressor's thoughts from our heads. I agree.
Listen,
Yeah.
my brother, I
Mhm.
will tell you this. I am, as I explained, that I was born in Westmoreland, Jamaica, and I grew up on the beaches of Negril, Jamaica. Now, Negril, Jamaica, for most who know of this place, would say that it's a tourist destination. No, let's expound on that. It is the window to the world. So you can literally say this, I played ball on the windowsill looking out in the world. That's Negril, Jamaica.
Can
Montego
you
Bay, Montego Bay, Jamaica provides the same opportunities. Ocho Rios, Jamaica provides the same opportunities, where you are seeing various people from various parts of the world. And then I've come to realize that the dilemma of the poor in France is not the dilemma of the poor in the United States of America. Yeah? Race and class issues in France is different from race and class issues in United States of America. And we can say Paris or New York City. We can compare the day-to-day life of the poor in these two cities, and it's a total different set of dynamics. The only common thread is that they're poor.
Hmm.
So I say that to say this. The oppressor is not just in the homes of quote unquote black people. The oppressors are in the homes of poor whites. Any citizen that has given up their nationalities in the early 1900s to assume whiteness, the oppressor man lives in their home also. It's not just a you and me thing. It's really deep. My people is not just about people who look like me. It's people who have to struggle on the same field, running around in the same city. You know, we may look different, but we have the same problems. We don't make enough. We don't make enough money to live. You know, we're not getting good food. You know, the grocery basket doesn't have healthy foods. Let's stop looking to the source of our problems to find change. We're caught in a hamster wheel. Jump off of it collectively.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Excellent.
man. That's
Let me-
it. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, let me go back to Brother Doctor. Brother Doctor,
Yeah.
you have anything?
Yeah. Just one more song. So I was looking, like I said, looking at some of his stuff, and I saw one song he did a little while back called Pookie's Hammer. And when I saw it, I thought about, all the things going on today, with the smash and grabs. You got Pookie's, because I don't know if his definition of Pookie is the same way we see it. Because I know Brother Machete talked about the Pookies, but the Pookies going in doing their smash and grabs with the hammers, all these stores. But I was listening to the song, and to me, I want him to talk about that. It seems more that you're talking about the carriers of the light, and I'm thinking that's about the music that you bring in, and you said, chipping away the wall just to get the little point of opening, so we can feel Jah as our salvation and all that. So can you talk about Pookie's hammers? Because I first thought it was about Pookie's going in the stores with the hammers doing smash and grabs. But yeah, can you explain Pookie's hammer?
Pookie's hammer. Pookie's hammer. So the one that you have up on the screen right now, that is the instrumental version of it. The original one with the black cover with the artist's face on it is the one that contains the lyrics. So if you search again, you will find the one that has that one. Radio edit. The one that says radio edit. Yeah, that's the one with the lyrics. So the title, Pookie's Hammer. So Pookie is the name of the youngest son of the Rasta Virgin that produces this track. And the hammer's small, but tough enough to break the wall. That kid was in the studio. We couldn't record a note because he was banging a small hammer. Yeah, and the idea came up. We were talking about carriers of the light. What would the message be? What would the message be of the track? And that's what stimulated it. A young man decided that he was going to do whatever he wanted to do with a hammer. It's as simple as that. And I won't try to make up anything around it. Lyrically, after the song was worked, then it became Have Faith in Jah. And I went, Pookie's Hammer is the working title that we had used. And when the decision came, being that I published my own work, I said I was gonna keep it. I was gonna keep the name of it. But the Pookie is a young Rastafari kid who decided
Let's
You
take
know?
a look. Let's take a listen.
Keepers of the light, come. And we don't have to roll thunder and flash lightning. The hammer small but tough enough to break the wall. Brick by brick and chip by chip, we'll tear it down. We need a point of entry, cause we bring the sound. Rasta picnic come to hold the town. Carriers of the light, bloom common children's lives. Bit by bit and step by step, we're coming for coming. With words of love and signs of peace within our hearts. We take the time to do things right just because our calling is our mission. We'll keep pressing on. Carriers of the light, bloom common children's lives. Telling them I'm faith in Jah.
Man, I tell you.
Yeah, man, the rework of this track became, you know, the healing of the carriers of the light, musicians, you know, sending the message to, you know, collectively have faith that things are going to be better. But the title, we kept the title because of that kid's adamance that day. You know, he wouldn't put his hammer down. And there goes the lead line. The hammer's small but tough enough to break the wall. That's where the lead line came from too. Just a young man's adamance to leave the studio that day. Yeah, man. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the question, man.
Yeah. You know, I'm thinking about lend me your hammer so I can hammer them through.
Yeah, man. I didn't keep in the reggae traditions. You know, hammer in the name of the title.
Yeah.
You know, singing about hammer. Yeah, it's part and part of the tool for struggle, you know, for breaking through struggles.
Yeah,
Yes,
man. That's something. Anything else, brother doctor?
No, that's it. Hey, I appreciate you coming on, man. And,
Yes, sir.
like you said, I'm a fan. I love it, man.
Thank you, brother doctor.
All right, brother Lucinda.
Yeah, many thanks, man. You know, good conversation. Appreciate you coming on, and look forward to hearing more. And you keep what you're doing, man.
Much respect, man. I intend to.
Okay, I have plenty here still.
Yes, sir. Let's go,
Yeah.
man. Let's do
Okay.
it, man.
Okay, let's go to I wanted to even get more, but we go to Where's Home. Let me go back to that.
Where's home?
Yeah, Where's Home? Take a listen to it. That cut.
Yes, Rastafari. Yeah. Me no have nothing to prove yet, so much to lose. Living from within, loving the skin I live in. My mind mind is bulletproof and so is my soul. Yes, Rastafari live free with self-control. Oh, Miss Dotty never raise no fool. No pumpkin head can make me lose me cool. From a day one I use an eye brain as a tool. And enough lick man get the ask question round a school. Oh, I know, so I don't know. So I always seek to know. Yes, we are conditioned to wait in vain. So I break the chains. Yes, question, where is the black man's place?
Somebody tell me.
Where is the black man's place?
Somebody tell me.
Where is the black man's place?
I beg you tell me.
Where is the black man's domain? Oh yes, home, home. Where is home?
Man, when I'm listening to that song, I'm thinking about great black men asking that question. You know, when I say great black men, I know there's many, but I'm talking about the ones that's been out, that's prolific. Malcolm X, Martin King, Marcus Garvey, all of the ones that, you know, most people know about. I'm thinking that they were asking that question too when I'm listening to that song. So I have a few. Okay, it says, "Where's the black man's place?" Domain. It's just, can you kind of talk about that? You know, and some of your thoughts on that?
Yeah, where's the black man's place? Where is the black man's place? Home, where is home?
Yeah.
Is it where I was born? Is it where my ancestors came from? Or does it matter if I'm black?
Mm.
Yeah. Is it where the original seed being dropped means? Is it so in this case, like, am I to call Africa home? Am I to call Jamaica home? Or because I'm considered black, is it okay for me to go live in New Orleans and call it home? Or go to Harlem and call it home? You know, do I need to make sure that my kid goes to Howard? You know? Is that home? You know, should I take on the characteristics of race so I can belong?
Mm.
You know, it goes a little, yeah. So when I was growing up, I was put out. Our schools didn't have hallways. It's inside and outside. You're in the classroom or you're outside. I was put outside because of questioning. You know, why am I black? You know,
Mm.
I grew up on the edge of a plantation. 4,000 hectares is owned by the Whitlock family, British family. They were the last homestead to close out in 1987 in Jamaica. That was British owned. And we used to watch, I used to do it too. When their Land Rover rolled by, all of us used to run out of the class to go look at them because they were white. Yeah. And the question is like, why am I black? Like, you know, that has been a big problem for me growing up because no one can answer the question. No one could answer the question. Yeah. And when I moved to the United States of America, I understood why I was black.
Mm.
Based on observation, based on treatment, based on zip code, based on opportunities, based on day-to-day interaction. You know, I wasn't black until I moved to the United States.
Brother Carter, can I say something?
Yes, Bridget.
Okay, and this is what I've been grappling with.
Yes.
And I talk to everybody on the platform, and I say that It is a construct. Race is the color thing is a construct. And it is strategic. And I hear you. I hear what you're saying. Continue, please.
I'll add to that. It's not just, it's a very young construct.
Mhm.
Race hasn't grown up yet on the grand scheme of things. Race is a toddler right now
Mm.
because it is this empire, the great North American empire, the United States of America, that has championed race. All the greater empires, quote unquote greater, all the great empires of the past, some of them greater, run their society based on class. Americans have not yet grappled with the effects of class, even though class is the main reason why you have rich and poor. Has nothing to do with color. So sociologically, the race thing is for a mindset. The race thing is for a mindset. The race thing has nothing to do with upward mobility. It has nothing to do with land ownership. Has nothing to do with duke and lordship, king and queenship. It has to do with worker and employer. You dig? The race thing is a mindset thing that is given to individuals to run with. I mean, when did the Irish become white? When did the Italians become white? When did the Armenians become white? When did the Turks, the Turkish people become white? It was yesterday. It was in the 1900s, my brother. 19 something. The 1800s, especially in North America, was rife with class status, not race status, class status. All money, new money. Royalty, peasantry. You know? So, check this out. When a young, and I say young because I consider myself young. I'm 46 years old and I have 25 more years of work to do. So I'm young, yeah? Check this. Whew. When you live your entire life hearing parables, and then when you get first world education and your parables turned on, you realize that every single day you've lived is a lie. When I go into my grandmother's house and I ask her where her grandfather came from, check this, my grandmother, I ask her where her father came from, and she does not know. We have a problem, man. I mean, like, we have a big problem. Now, you go into the inner cities right now, and you ask any child, where does their great-great-grandfather come from? And they don't know. But if you ask them how much LeBron James, how much points he scored in last season, they probably can recite it. And what's the girl name? Sexy Red? They probably can recite every song from her album. So, where is home? When I put out that question, my attempt was to stimulate interest in people wanting to revisit a Marcus Garvey. Because he at least came up with the idea to say Africa for Africans. And he just didn't talk the talk. He made moves. The Black Star Liner was on the docks. It was funded by Black people. And the plan was to repatriate Take everything you own, take your pots, your pans, your goat, your duck, your sheep, and let's go and see what the other people are going to do. You know, like that thought process is no longer in the forefront of the mind of people living, especially in North America. A person from Ohio lives in Rhode Island, and that person will tell you that they do not have an affinity to Ohio. How is it possible? Like, where's home? Even in the local space. When somebody say, "Oh, why are you going to Jamaica so often?" I said, "I'm going home." I thought Providence was your home. Well, I live and work in Providence, but Jamaica is my home. I can at least say that because that's what I feel. But the overall, on the overall scheme of things, I don't think people, especially people who refer themselves Black, they've never asked themselves that question. I don't think they have. They move from house to house. In Red Line District, they move from the west side to the east side, and from the east side to the north side, and from the north side to the south side. They live in central, and they move central to west again, and they do it for all their lives. And they become 70 and they've never left the Red Line District, the Red Line District. It's mind-blowing. That's my approach to say, check out Marcus Garvey, man. Check out the works of Garvey. You know, he was at least saying, if Italy is for the Italians, then there's a place for the Jamaicans. It's called Jamaica. You know, I'm trying to stimulate interest in nationality, worldview. You know, what is your identity marker as it relates to belonging? Is it race or landmass?
Mm.
Am I making sense, my brother?
Oh, very much so. Interesting. Teach, man. Teach. This is what it's about. We're learning.
Yeah,
Learning.
so that's the basis of the
Yeah.
track. Is to stimulate a renewed interest in people thinking that they have a past. You have a past, you have a story. We all have a story. And a good story to have under your fingertips is where you come from.
Mm. Yeah.
I think that's the point. Where you come from. Where did you sprout?
Yeah.
What tree did your fruit fall off? Yeah, what is your tree? In what part of the world?
Yeah, that's very interesting because I learned some information about myself and my grandfather, my great grandfather. It kind of let me know. It's like, this is why I do what I do.
Yeah.
You know, it's in line with things. And I want to convey that to people and my family. You
Yeah, man.
know some things about yourself, and then you can understand, why am I doing these type of things, you know? So one more thing.
Yes, brother.
It says, I know, but I don't know, so I seek to know.
I know that I don't know, so
Hmm.
I seek to know.
Yes.
Well, Donald Rumsfeld, he was in office under George Bush.
Yes, he was.
I heard that man took the podium and he said, they are known knowns and they are known unknowns. So the public should shut up. He's literally saying, I know that you don't know what I know, and because I know that you don't know, I have control. Stop talking. We can do whatever we want.
A power move.
A power move. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's not a game, you know, my brother. It's not a game. This is how the system operates. We in your house, you run your house. You are the man of your house. You're in charge of your house. You're in charge of your affairs. And when a people employ a set of men or women or other people to represent them, you know, yeah, they should be thinking of it as home. It's family. I vote you in because you're my family, my brother. I want you to represent my interests and the interests of my children. The brother named Dick Cheney, I heard that man when he was in office.
Mm.
He said, everyone is entitled to their own truth. And in the same era, in the same month, the President of the United States says, anyone on the face of this earth that goes against the American ideals will be hunted down and killed.
Mm.
No, this is on record. So anybody who is listening to this can actually put those lines in and you can hear the respective speeches, because that's where we are in the digital dystopia right now. You know, everything is tagged. You know, once it has been said, it's recorded and it's set. My brother, check this out. We have to know for ourselves. We have to know for ourselves. And I think it's important to know where we came from. Where we came from. What idea that brought us here. Listen, man, how many children know how their parents met? How many children understand their, what do you call it? Their conception story. Not some raunchy stuff, but oh, I met your mother. We took a walk on the beach and we talked about the future. And Daddy, what beach? You know? Children start to make connection with places.
Mm.
And get off their screens and stop following Pokemon, you know? Stop chasing Pokemon around the city and know where you come from. Talk to your parents. Parents need to teach your children. Man, I have so much to say. It's too much sometimes on my own psyche, you know?
Yeah. Well, what you're saying needs to be heard, in my opinion. No, serious, because it's insight. The insight is
perspective.
Yeah. Well, you know, I have perspective writings, and also supposed to be releasing some books soon.
Yes, man.
So I have a perspective also, but I like to reflect on other perspectives that's similar. And somebody said razors sharpen razors, so it's just it's a wonderful thing that you're doing what you're doing, because like I said earlier, roots reggae is a world power, and I hold dear to that.
Yes, man.
And
Every music has got its place, but you know, the traditions, and if we are to be respectful to the root of it, we are supposed to spread light. Reggae people, Rasta people, you know, we are to shed light. That's we are to turn on the lights. And obviously it has nothing to do with what color panties a young woman wear. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. That side of things don't matter. What matter is that, as you say, each one can teach one. Each one teach one. What I learned today, if you have interest, let's talk. Hey, let's talk about it. Have friends for that reason, so you can have conversation to underscore what you've learned.
Yeah.
It's as simple, you know?
Yeah. Well, keep doing what you're doing, brother. I
Much
appreciate you.
respect, man.
Appreciate you coming. please stay on the line when I pause it.
Yes, sir.
So we're gonna take our pause. You know, we had Rohan Marley on here,
Yes, sir.
and I wish he would come back. We had fun with him, and he coined that. He said, "No, we're not gonna end. We're just gonna take a pause." So that's what we're doing.
Respect.
We kind of adopted that. So we're gonna take our pause, and then before we do that, I want to talk about who's coming on Wednesday, and also we on Tuesday we have on Professor Amin Ra's show, the Grand Clegg, an attorney, is coming on Tuesday, and the topic is going to be about black history and black activism. So that's Tuesday, and then on Wednesday we have Professor Ife Jai. She is a professor at LA Trey Tech College. It's also she's a rap artist, and she's coming on. She's going to be talking about graffiti. The It's going to be art versus vandalism. That's the topic. And so that's what we got coming up. And deeply appreciate you coming on, Brother Clatta.
Yes, my brethren.
Brother Sheldon. So
Yes, brother. Much respect, man.
So we're going to take our pause, each one teach one in Conscious Corner. Have a great day, everybody.